to this part is to sketch something, okay? Always like, it's like geometry, like always sketch the picture. If you're finding some kind of triangle, you draw a triangle.
You're making this all about geometry. I'm kind of upset.
Well, it is. So algebra is like graphs, which are kind of like geometry, and then algebra, and you put them together and they like have babies, and that's what algebra 2 is.
Gross.
Cool.
And that's why you take algebra 2 after you take geometry, because it like makes a little bit more sense. Anywho.
You know that at some schools they do the opposite?
Yeah, they're dumb. I'm just kidding. They must just structure the classes.
It's okay. That's what I say about myself.
So the first thing we're gonna do is just sketch, super sketch. Like you're not drawing this like accurately. You're gonna sketch the vertex and directrix that it gives you. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. We got a vertex.
Very cool, Connie.
Wait, where are we?
Why
But
is
I
yours
would-
look so
On
good
the-
then?
I was yawning so you could leave me alone.
So it says write the equation of the parabola with a vertex blah and a directrix blah. You have to also graph that directrix. If
Your
it's
numbers
at,
are different than mine.
we're not on the homework. We're on the
Oh,
notes.
this is homework.
That's homework. Directrix is at y equals 0. If the directrix is at y equals 0, is that a vertical line or a horizontal line?
My life is going down.
Horizontal. So the directrix I'm going to draw in blue because otherwise you won't see it, is right here. That's my directrix. By sketching this, you can determine if it's horizontal or vertical. Without the sketch, it's harder to determine. But you
Which
can
way
still
is this
determine it.
facing or going?
So let's think about it. If the directrix is here and the vertex is here, which way does it have to open?
Right.
Wait, say it again or I wasn't listening.
Yes!
Oh, whoa.
I'm a god.
Does that look right to you?
No, you're not.
Shouldn't look right to you.
Darn. Why not?
You got it wrong!
It goes up.
What's
It goes
rule
up.
number 1 about the
I don't have
directrix
room
and the
for this.
It goes
vertex?
up.
Wait, if
It's
it's
like opposite.
They-
write the equation of the parabola with the vertex -5. If the directrix is at 0,
Wait, what is rule number 1 about the relationship between the directrix and the vertex?
the
They
directrix.
have to be
Oh, they have to be perpendicular.
Well,
Yeah,
you
they have to be
point,
equal
they
distance.
never touch. They never touch. So in order for the parabola
Oh, it has to be going
to
up then.
not touch the directrix,
going
it
up.
has to be going up. If it goes any other way, it's going to touch the directrix,
Emma,
which
where
is
did
bad.
you get it? to the
Oh, I
right?
just heard, like, I have no idea what
Oh, that's not
Also-
close.
It says y equals 0, so like
Right.
that indicates.
I told
0.
you, if the directrix was y equals 0, then the equation is going to be y equals something,
Yeah.
which
Which
means
is
it's
gonna be
vertical.
vertical.
Now, also things, so now that we know it's going up, we're going to write the standard form of an equation for a vertical parabola. So this is where you have to like memorize things. You should already have that memorized, because it's from
Definitely.
chapter 4.
Well, I vaguely remember.
I remember it. I just have to remember it again. You know.
So
What I
like
mean?
the 4 other ones we had to learn last chapter.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to start plugging in stuff we know if we know anything. We do know that the vertex is at -5, 4. So we're going to plug that in. The -5 is going to go next to x. So we're going to have x minus -5, and then the k is 4. And instead of writing it weird like that, I'm going to write x plus 5 squared plus 4.
Right when I thought we got rid of word problems.
Y
It's
equals.
not really a word
But
problem.
I don't think we'll
There's like 6 words in it.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
5.
So we're plugging in stuff we know. If we don't know anything, we have to find the things.
So.
The things we need in order to write in the equation are the vertex, which we got, and what's the other thing we need?
The A.
We need A. We need A.
I know how to do it. You do the backwards of the 1
Wouldn't
over
you just
4A
put a-
equals
Right.
0.
So we're gonna do backwards of 1 over 4A like logic. We know that this distance is 1 over 4A, right? What is that actual distance? How far is this vertex, which is at -5, 4,
4
from
units.
the directrix?
4 units.
It's 4 units. How'd you get it?
Because I looked
I just
and
went
counted.
down boxes.
Yeah, you went down boxes if you're using graph paper, but also
It's the y.
this is at y equals 0. So you're comparing the y coordinate of the vertex to the y coordinate of the directrix.
So A
and
is
you can see.
-4.
So, no, so the distance, 1 over 4A is 4. Look, the distance is 4, and we know the distance has to be equal to 1 over 4A.
It's 1 over 16.
It wouldn't be -4 since you're going down though.
Doesn't matter, that part doesn't matter. We're gonna do that later. That part I do last. Now, we're gonna solve this. So to solve this, you would multiply both sides by 4a, and you'd get 16a.
Very cool, very cool.
And then you would divide by 16, and you'd get 1 over 16 equals a. So that's your a.
But I was right.
Then you're determining if it's a positive a or a negative a based on if it's opening up or down. If it's opening up, it's positive. If it's opening down, then it's negative. But this one's opening up, so it's got to be positive.
What are you looking for your x right now? Oh, you're 16.
I'm done. That's the
Weird
equation.
gonzo.
I just don't know how I feel about this.
So for all of these, write the equation of you need to fill in the vertex and a. However you do that, that's kind of like the difference between each question, but that's all you're doing. You're filling in the vertex, you're filling in a, and you have to know, you know, all the relationships to do that.
You keep going. Oh my god.
Questions?
I mean, like.
Let's do another one.
I feel like the second one is the harder one.
It is. Let's sketch what we have. It says that the focus is at -4, 1, so 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, so you're trying to tell me I drew this graph from nothing?
1, 1. That's my focus. And then the directrix is at x equals 1.
Should I draw? These are just so gross.
I just hate this lesson so much.
Sorry.
It just.
This one seems better than
Is
last
there any
one.
like math going forward though? Like I'm not saying this is a math, but like
But like
yes.
anything that's better than this.
like is the next chapter like not like math, like equations?
Are we gonna have a
There's a
quiz on this Friday?
statistics
'Cause I'll
chapter
literally
and a
drop out.
matrix chapter. They're
'Cause
very
I'm-
different.
I'm good at like math.
Well,
This is like
We have a quiz Friday.
if
We have a quiz Friday.
Oh, it's not tomorrow?
if this is the focus and this is the directrix, which way does the parabola have to open?
To the right. To the left. I'm
Left.
sorry.
To the left.
I'm sorry.
Why does it have to open to the left?
Because
Because
it
it can't go
hit
through
the
the
direction.
direction.
And it has to encompass or hug
the focus.
the focus.
I hate this so much.
Now, if it's opening to the left, it's horizontal, we're using this.
It'll be negative.
Okay.
What is our focus like?
We don't know any of that. We don't know A, we don't know H, we don't know K, we don't know the vertex at all, we know nothing.
Gosh,
So we have to
darn it.
find those things. But we do know, I forgot something very important.
We don't know the vertex.
If you don't have the squared there, it's not a parabola at all, it's a line. That's bad.
Gosh.
So the first thing we can find is the vertex, and we need to find it.
Oh, it would just be something, comma 1.
Yep. Yep.
It would be something,
so
comma 1.
H would be 1.
Something, comma 1 because
Thank you.
it's in line with the
I feel
focus.
so
But
confident.
where is it?
It's gonna be to the left.
Where
I mean to the right.
is it?
Oh, it's gonna be below.
Where's the vertex?
Below?
Halfway between F and D.
Halfway between the focus and the directrix. If the focus is at -4, 1, and the directrix is at x equals 1,
That's
what's
negative
halfway
2,
between
1.
those?
Negative 2, 1.
Negative 1.5.
Actually didn't do the math. Yeah, it's at a decimal. How'd you get it?
Counted.
You counted. That's fine. You can do that. You can do that. So
I-
what did
I
you,
don't know
what
how
did
I
you
got
count?
it.
What'd you count?
Cause so if you minus 1 from like -4, you get -5, and then you get like the in between.
Ooh.
So this
Like
whole
2.5.
distance is 5, which means halfway is 1, 2, and then 0.5. What's another way we can find the middle of something?
I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
I'm gonna just count it.
AN equals.
You can find the
So then the
midpoint.
vertex is.
Find the midpoint. You add them up and divide by 2.
Oh
So
yeah.
the
What-
vertex
but
is
what would you
negative
add?
1.5.
So what would you add
comma
if you
1.
wanted to find the midpoint? You would take the x and the x, and you would add them
So negative 3.
and divide by 2.
What negative?
The what
That
you
would
just
be
do?
the x midpoint.
This is so risky.
Oh.
Or if you do it on graph paper, you can count like.
I decided to count.
Okay, so
All you're doing is finding
Oh wait,
the
no,
middle.
I can count.
Go on, like,
That's the
8
x middle. Tristan, you already found the y.
Ah.
So the x goes here. The y goes here.
Wait,
That's the
what?
weird part.
Why?
Because remember, the y has to go next to y, and the x has to go with x. So the x goes on the outside because it's horizontal, and the y goes with y on the inside. Because the equation is backwards, because it's horizontal.
I hate this so much.
No, I'm telling you, this is gonna be where
Just focus on putting
fail.
x with x and y with
Again.
y.
Good thing I just like.
I'm
didn't
gonna
get a
apex
plus,
in
I'm about
this.
to get a 20 on this.
You're gonna get a what?
I'm gonna apex in this.
What else do we need in our equation?
A.
we need
Okay.
A.
Now we know that a is the distance between these two,
Very cool.
right?
It's
That's
2.
2.5.
It's 2.5.
Oh, 2.5.
What?
And we need 2.5 to equal 1 over 4a.
This is so hard.
So
Multiply 4a.
So multiply 4a times 2.5.
10
You get
a.
6a.
Oh, wait, what? Oh.
10? No, wait. Maybe
It
it
is
is 10.
10.
I don't know why I said 6. That's 1.5 times 4.
How is that 10?
So
2.5
2 times 4
times
is
4?
10.
Oh, it is
And then
10.
a half times 4 is 2, and 2 plus 8.
So it'd be 1 over 10, you mean?
Well, so yeah, and keep solving. A is going to be 1/10. Is A positive or negative?
A is negative
Because
because it's going to the left.
good. See, you're getting it.
Yeah, well that's
Slowly.
kind of
That's
common
it.
sense.
I didn't get it, so.
Hey, it's a big part of that equation.
I mean, yeah.
Thank God we don't have math Excel for this.
What?
I don't think math
Well, we
Excel.
have-
Math
It's getting in my way.
So for the last
You said
one,
that this one was easy and it's harder.
no, I said this one was easier. So the vertex is at 0, 3, which is there, and it tells us the axis of symmetry is at y equals 3. Remember that the axis of symmetry is the line that divides it into 2 equal parts. So just based on that, we know that it has to be symmetric around this line. So the parabola either has to open right or left, because the axis of symmetry goes through the center of it.
Okay.
Oh man.
They're gonna tell you something like this, like A is positive or A is negative, if they don't give you the vertex or the directrix, or I'm sorry, if they don't give you the focus or the directrix, they have to tell you if A is positive or negative. So if A is negative, that means it opens to the left, so it's doing something like this. Okay, so if the axis of symmetry is vertical, the parabola is vertical. If the axis of symmetry is horizontal, the parabola is horizontal. So our parabola is horizontal, so we have to use this,
Axis of y equals 2.
and we're gonna plug in stuff.
Is that y minus k?
Yeah, that's the equation.
That's like the opposite.
So obviously you don't have that memorized today, but you should have it memorized tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
Do they give us the vertex?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it would just be y.
Minus 3.
So y minus 3, because 3 is the y. And then we would put like plus 0, but that's dumb, we don't really have to put
How do we
that.
know it's going to the left?
Because it said that a was less than 0.
What does that mean?
I have no
It
idea.
means that a is less than 0, that means it's going to the left.
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
The positivity of a tells you if it's going up, down, left, or right. So if it's negative, it's either going left or down. And if a is positive, it's going right or up. Now, then it tells us the length of the lattice rectum. So we know that the lattice rectum length is the reciprocal of a. So we can just reciprocal it back. So if it's 6,
it'd be 1 over 6.
it would be 1 over 6. But also remember that it said that
It's
a was
negative.
negative, so it's negative 1 over 6.
How did you find that?
Big brain play.
So we know that the length of the lattice rectum is the reciprocal of a. So if they tell us how long it is, we can just reciprocal it to get a.
But it has to be negative as well. Okay, that makes sense.
Reciprocal is not a verb, by the way.
What? Reciprocate.
Reciprocal is not, reciprocate's not the right verb.
What is it then?
What is
Is it
reciprocal?
reciprocal?
Reciprocate.